All right, boys and girls, today we're going to be reviewing number form, word form, and expanded form when we're talking about decimals and whole numbers and their place values. So we're also going to review how we say a number when it has a decimal. So everyone should have picked up these notes today when we were in class. And I want to review how we use our place value system. So we should never forget our main place values that we're going to be talking about today. Today we're going to be looking at tenths, tens place, ones place, tenths place, hundredths place, and thousandths place. We should never forget that the decimal point is always located in between the ones place and the tenths place. Always also remember that there is no such thing as a once place because our once place is like our anchor. It reflects and repeats on either side, going tens to tenths. Remember, everything after the decimal adds the ths or THS. So we're going to start with the number 27.483. And let's write that in number form. So we're going to be taking it out of its place value boxes and we're basically going to be writing it outside of the boxes. Therefore, it should look like this. Now when we talk about its word form, it's very important to remember that when we read the decimal, we use the word and only when we read the decimal. And we also need to take note about where our number ends. This 3, which is our last place value in this particular number, is in the thousandths place. Therefore, I know that in my word form, at the very end, I'm going to have the word thousandths. But I'm going to start up with my tens and ones places before my decimals. So I know that I read my tens and ones place before my decimals as 27. Then I have my decimal, which we've already reviewed, we read as and. So I have 27 and. Then we're going to look at all of our decimal place values. And we're going to start off by reading it as if it was just a whole number, as if it didn't come after a decimal. So we're going to start by reading this as we would if there was no decimal in front of it. So we've got 27 and 483 thousandths. This and the thousandths place tell me that I'm talking about a decimal. But when we wrote our 483, we looked at this isolated as if it was a whole number. That is how you properly read a decimal in order to write it in word form. When we write a number in expanded form, we take the digit in each place value and we multiply it by what its place value represents. So my 2, which is my largest place value, is where we're always going to start. So I'm going to start with 2 times 10 because the 2 is in the tens place, plus 7 times 1 because the 7's in the ones place, plus 4 times 1/10. Remember, you can write that as a fraction or as a decimal, plus my 8 is in my hundredths place, and lastly I have my 3 in my thousandths place. So I've taken each digit and I've multiplied it by the place value it's represented in. Now I want you to get out your sheets that have 3 practice problems and I want you to practice. Please wait and pause this video until after you have completed your 3 practice questions. Then you can press play again to check your answers. So please go ahead and take a look at this so we can check over our answers. Starting up here at number 1, I have the number 76 and 429 thousandths. I took each digit and I multiplied it by its place value to write it in expanded form. And then I just wrote out the words of how I would name this number for word form. Again, that's 76 and 429 thousandths, because that 9 is located in the thousandths place. Number 2, it is written in word form, 45 and 261 thousandths. So I know that my 1 has to be in the thousandths place. I know I've got the number 45 before my decimal and my number 261 after my decimal, and my last place value is located in my thousandths place. Writing it in expanded form, I just took what I wrote in number form and I multiplied each digit by its proper place value. Lastly, number 3, it gave you a number in expanded form. You took each digit and you located it in the place value it told you in expanded form. Notice this one does not have a thousandths place. I could have put a 0 in the thousandths place, and then my word form would have changed to 650 thousandths instead of just 65 hundredths. So this number in number 3 is read as 93 and 65 hundredths. I hope this helped you review how to write decimals in word form, expanded form, and numerical form.